All right, going to take you through my flight here on July 23rd. It was a great morning. Wasn't planning on flying that morning, but woke up and looked out and thought, man, this is a beautiful morning. So anyway, texted Arnie and said, you want to go fly? And he said, yep. So I said, I'll fly to your house. So we launched from my house, pretty well climbed steady there till I got to where I could see Arnie getting set up, and then let off the throttle and just coasted down. Getting over Arnie's house here, he took off right about there, and we flew together, went out over the river, and there we are over the river. It stayed pretty high. It was a nice day to fly high. Air was just beautiful. So went out over the river, came back down in. Then he and I dropped down into the river there, and then came back up over and went and checked out the Rainbow Road flying site, and said it's time to head back. So came back over. There's where we flew over the cell phone tower. You'll see that in the video. And got back to the house here, and then decided to climb up high. Held it pretty well all the way to 6,000 and like 700 feet, something like that. I think it was actually 6,800, and then drifted back down and landed. And that was the flight. So we'll go through it here together. All right, here's the launch. This was about 6:30 in the morning, so not a real early launch, but air was still nice. Almost a no-wind launch. Maybe had about a 2-mile-an-hour wind coming out of the direction I was headed. Flying the Dudek Nucleon XX 24 meter. So it was a nice launch. That wing, once it's up, it really holds it. That shark nose there. So now we've got some altitude. Flying over to see Arnie. They're crossing over the interstate right now. Just kind of enjoying the morning. Sun was right in my eyes, so I kept holding up my hand to block the sun, so I could see if I could spot Arnie getting ready. Just having some fun, enjoying the nice calm air. It was warmer up higher, but down low it was quite a bit cooler. So here I'm just about up and over Arnie's house. I can see him setting up down there. Just headed over the river a little bit, enjoying being up high. Checking out the power plant there to our east. And I think I start pulling a little some mild wingovers here. Yeah, I think just touching the wingtip to the horizon is the idea here. So yeah, there we go. Full right. Just get her going. Here we are. Now weight shift left, pull left. A little bit of right to check the wing. Weight shift right, pull right. A little bit of left to check the wing. Once more to the left. Just touch the horizon. There it is. And to the right. Maybe go just a hair deeper. There it is. Let's see if I do one more. It looks like I'm burning off the energy. So anyway, just coming down with that under no throttle, enjoying it. It's kind of fun to swing back and forth there. All right, this is where Arnie's taking off. He's right to the right of my riser. Can't hardly see him. He's pretty far out there, but he just launched. And there he is, a little dot right there coming over that brown spot. And so we'll reach up, grab the helmet here, the intercom, and intercom in with him. And here, now we're going to go enjoy our flight together. You can see Arnie down there below me. And we're getting ready to break over the rim here, going down into the Laramie River. And we'll just fly that way for a while and enjoy the sights. After we'd flown to the east there, we came back around Arnie's and then headed back to the north now. Flew down a little lower, just having some fun. Was going to drop right down in there, but it got awful chilly awful quick, and all I had on was a light sweatshirt, so it was much warmer up higher. So once we started breaking off down into here, Arnie and I both said, let's go higher and warm up. So that's what we did. Pretty cool to be being down in there. That's some fun country to fly. All right, now I'm headed back to my house. Arnie's headed back to his, and I'm headed back to mine. And as I'm going here, this cell phone tower sits out there, and I've always wanted to fly close to it. So stayed probably still 50 to 80 feet over it, but flew right by it and check it out. All right, we're back in my stomping grounds now. This is Festo Lake we're coming up on. neighbor's house is right below me. So just thought I'd drop down low here and check out Festo. Oftentimes you can see the groups of fish that congregate in certain spots on the lake in the morning, dark spots in the lake, and so I always like to come check them out. It's always kind of fun to fly down below the tops of these trees here. Actually, as we were coming down in, we were getting some interesting air, so it was getting to be a bit bumpy right in here. So I didn't get extremely low, but low enough I was right about even at the tops of the trees. And there's Festo. I didn't see any of the big groups of fish this morning that sometimes like to hang out there. Alright, so after we flew over Festo, looked over at the power plant, stacks were still going straight up, decided it's a good day to climb up high and see how high we want to get. So here we're starting to go up. Starting to go up a bit more, probably 1,000 feet above ground at this point, maybe a little more. There's Festo in front of me where I just was. And even a bit higher here. So still just enjoying climbing up. I was kind of holding left brake, doing a slow, gentle turn to the left against the torque of the motor. And now we're getting pretty darn high. I think this is about as high as we got here, which was, I think it was 2,400 feet above ground. 2,300, that's it, 2,300 feet above the ground. So there we go. That's when I make this turn to the left here, that's where I let off the throttle and start coasting down. I was looking across at the mountain range there and feeling like I was about level with the ridge on the horizon, which would be about right. It was a little over 7,000 feet above sea level. Or 2,300 feet above ground. So start letting her down and coasted all the way. Didn't touch the throttle a single time till we land. So we're coming around for the final approach here to land. And I knew I was going to be a little high, but there's some power lines. So I wanted to make sure I was at least double them, and I did that and some more. Where the roads come together there, if you look over the top of that tree, you can see my pickup there. There, now you can start to see the pickup sitting out there. So that's where my windsock is, and I ended up landing quite a ways away from the pickup. Thought about doing a go around, but then said, I could use the walk. So decided to come on in. So here I'm getting ready to come over the power lines here in a little bit, and it was probably about 30 feet higher than I needed to be for sure, which made me drift all the way out there. So I think motor should be off about now and just gliding, enjoying it. Coming in, you can see the flare on the shadow, and get ready. There it is, and run it out. Wing really wanted to stay up. I had the brakes pulled. I was running. Wing's still up, so I just kept running, and here it drops pretty soon. And there it goes, so turn around. It was a great flight. Thanks for joining me.